Hi everyone, it's Christine, your lovable, huggable muse, and welcome to the Vortex, everyone. We're bringing you our uploads from our downloads, and I'm just going live today, you guys. Just because I just wanted to, just chime in on how everyone's doing. I really feel like right now, especially for those who are sensitive, empaths, and intuitives, I really feel that there's just a lot of waiting going on right now. We're trying to figure out what the rest of the world is doing. There's still a lot of things that need to be sorted out. In the meantime, I know a lot of us that are just kind of holding the fort and just trying to stay calm during all this time are finding ourselves just in this situation where, not that we're helpless, I feel like it's more like there's not really too much we can do besides what we're already doing. I mean, we're already being support systems to people, and we're already putting ourselves out there in so many ways. And I just feel like this is really one of those times where, the universe or the God and the powers that be are just kind of testing our patience a little bit. I'm not really testing it, you guys, because I hate that word test. I hate thinking that when things happen, we're being tested. I mean, I do believe there are lessons that we have in this world, but, I don't necessarily think it's like a pass or fail thing, you guys. I really think that, you just have as many opportunities as you have to get certain things accomplished in your life. And then likewise, sometimes it's just this journey that you take a whole lifetime getting to really, go through. And I think, when we say things like test, it sounds so grueling and horrible, where I think for the most part, life's a bit of a journey, and, every little experience you have just takes you to the next level. So you just keep going higher and higher, and surprisingly, when you think you can't go any further up, somehow the powers that be manage to surprise you, and all of a sudden you just have this another challenge or just another lesson. And it's not always so bad. I mean, a lot of times people, I think in the very beginning though, especially when you're going through some of the harder parts, you're just starting to really do your core work, and especially some of the shadow work. Some of you guys haven't really, had some time to go through with some of that. When you start doing the inner stuff, those things can be really difficult. And I don't know where everyone is in their journey. If you guys are still going through that, I put so many resources on Muse Life and Muse Chronicles for you guys to, kind of help you get through some of that. I'm also a life coach, you guys. If you're interested in coaching, please reach out to me. But literally, you guys, that's just what it feels like right now in the atmosphere. I'm just feeling like, oh, okay, we're waiting for, I already told you from a long time ago, we already know that this shift is happening. There's something going on in the universe where just all these things are coming into play. And it's really important to have your head a little bit straight right now and really go inward and focus on what's important to you and what's really important to you guys, not, those materialistic things or those superficial things that, in a normal day-to-day, if this stuff wasn't going on, we could literally just get by with, because it's not even like that anymore, you guys. We're literally being stripped of our freedoms and some of our rights even, and even everything from just our ability to breathe fresh air. I mean, the last couple of days we had that Saharan dust storm that blew in Austin, and we couldn't even go outside, not because of COVID, but because the air was just literally, it was on danger alert. And I was just like, wow. And it's funny because this morning I looked on my app. I looked at the air app, and it was basically said, oh, the air was good today. So I was like, God, because I was like, I don't know what I'll do if I can't get out. I mean, that's like the only thing I've been able to do. I mean, I've been doing my social distancing just, for the sake and the safety of other people. But a lot of what I've been doing was really just going out and enjoying, if you guys are watching me, going out and enjoying the outdoors. We're lucky to live next to some really amazing lakes and rivers. So, and I never really went out and spent too much time out there when I first moved out here. But I've really been able to enjoy nature and really been able to spend time really, just enjoying that. I mean, even right now, you guys, you can hear the birds outside singing. It's like beautiful out here. So yeah, don't think of these things going on right now, these tests. It's just part of the journey, you guys. I mean, if you guys ever had to go through anything in life and you just realize what it took to get there, all the changes that it took to do anything, you guys, from starting a new job to doing something new with your life, to moving to a new place, to making new friends, to going to school and going through that 4 years of education, you realize how much you changed during all that time. And that's why, especially during times like this, when obviously there is a social economic change where people are starting to realize we need to start thinking about the ways we need to change our thoughts about how we think about other people, races, everything else that we normally don't think about, because it's just one of those deep-seated things that are just there, but we just don't like to discuss it. Well, now it's coming out in the open, because you know what? I do believe that in order for us to progress the way we were supposed to, yes, we're having an awakening, you guys, but all our shadows are coming out right now, including some of the shadows that we're finding right here. Some of the uglies that we don't want to admit are really happening is what we're being faced with right now. And it's making a lot of people look in the mirror and really think about, what part of this is true for me, what part of this is not, and what part of it may be true for society. I mean, it might not necessarily, what goes on right now, you guys, might not necessarily have anything to do with you. You have to realize that this is literally a mirroring of what's going on in society as a whole. And a lot of you people, especially probably the ones watching this, I believe are probably pretty awakened, and you probably don't even understand what's going on. But just realize that these are just not our own growing pains, but it's also the growing pains of our society and the collective as a whole. So this is just things we need to watch them kind of go through. So I don't know if you guys are parents at all, or if you've ever had teenagers. I have kids, and it's really easy when they're kids. They're really fun and enjoyable, but there comes a point in their lives when they start going through their own growing pains, especially during the teen years. And that's when a lot of things start coming out for them. And you just want to go in there and step in and try to do everything you can to fix the situation or help them, and you find out that instead of actually helping them, we're actually pushing them away, because this is the time when those teenagers or those young adults are really learning who they really are and who they need to be. And that's actually the time when we need to kind of step back and let them process what they need to do, safely. Obviously, if they're doing something that's endangering them, but just if it's just something like them trying to figure out who they are, that's just kind of the hard part sometimes, watching people having to make their mistakes and having to learn their lessons, just being there for them, if they need you. But just for the most part, sometimes you have to let them go through that, for them to really be truly an adult, to really be able to learn their lessons. And that's kind of what I feel like is going on. I feel like we're just going through this period of just waiting. And it's not easy, because I think we are seriously seeing a whole lot of pain in a lot of people. But those are things that they need to process as well. I mean, if you guys have done your own shadow work, you realize, wow, I processed a lot. And it hurt. It did really hurt a lot. And yeah, you guys, that's just kind of what I was getting today, because I really, I don't know. I personally have my own personal growth I'm going through. And a lot of it has taken a lot of patience. I've really had to spend a lot of time being here centered with myself and not really worrying too much about everything else that's going around me right now, because for the most part, as much as there's a lot of things going on, with my family members, there's some sicknesses and there's a lot of things going on, in a lot of different ways, but for the most part, everyone's okay. So I'm kind of giving myself some permission to process me for a while. And that's okay, you guys. I mean, especially for you that are out there and you're not even, really sure what you want in life, or you're not even really sure what makes you happy or what makes you tick, or if you're in that place in your life where, you don't quite feel happy with it, and you're wondering what's making you so discontent, but you don't really have an answer. See, those are the kind of times when you really need to kind of step back and, spend some time thinking more about you and what really makes you tick. And, that's a beautiful journey in itself, you guys. I mean, a lot of times when I go on here, I don't, like right now, I'm not sure, I didn't have like an actual topic today, but I did know I wanted to talk to you guys about just this waiting period that we seem to be having right now with society, as COVID is doing its thing, as our society and government is doing this thing. And you guys, as much as we want to just have things go back to normal, it's just not going to be. But that's why more so it's so important to be very, very centered in your core and very, assured of who you are and very strong in your convictions in a lot of things. That's when you kind of, really need to do some inner work and do some soul searching. But I can tell you guys, if you don't have that already, that's going to be your anchor through all of this. That's why I come on here as often as I do, is because I do know that this has been somewhat of a trip, you guys, and it's not easy. I know for some people this is probably not the worst thing that's ever happened to them, but probably the most impactful, something life-changing to them. I mean, I can't tell you that this hasn't changed my life, but in a way, it was in a good way. I have some really exciting news for you guys in the next few months. So, I'm excited for the journey I'm on. I mean, I hope you guys are kind of, spending some time really trying to use this time with COVID-19 to really soul search and dig deep into what you really want in life. I'm kind of happy. It's a journey, you guys. I've been starting to do a little bit more of my work that I'm really more passionate about. And you guys, this is one of the things I'm going to tell you, because I've started numerous companies at this point, with my husband, and I'm pretty much a contractor by nature. So I've always worked for companies on my own, but I've also started my own companies with art and some of my retailing and some of my affiliate companies. So, and I'm going to tell you guys, this is the one thing, this is probably one of the things I'm kind of thinking, I'm sensing I have to share with you guys, especially when it comes to maybe the art of patience and just learning to wait and being okay with it, is that, like when COVID-19 started, I had to reframe everything and how I did life, especially like work and like my affiliate stuff and doing things online. And it wasn't like when I was doing my art shows or doing these Comic-Cons, you guys, where I went there, I did well, I made money, I was doing well. This is one of those things where it's just kind of like it's taking its time to be able to show any fruition. But you guys, if you're not getting the results you need, I can tell you, just keep plugging into it, keep going, keep creating the formula you need to be able to realize that dream that you want in this pertains to anything you guys are doing in your life right now, whether it be, having to start over with a new business, or having to start over in relationships, or having to start over in, just your own personal well-being and how you take care of yourself. You guys, you're not always going to see the results right off the bat. In fact, there's going to be times when it's going to take weeks to months before you're really going to see those tangible results. But I'm going to tell you guys, don't give up on that. If you are getting responses from anyone out there, just realize that, that's the beginning, and you just hold on to those little things, hold on to those little increments of success. Make sure you definitely document those and keep track of them, and have that be the driving force of why you do what you do in your life. So yeah, you guys, thank you for coming out today. I was really just wanting to share, just because it just felt like that. I just felt this, just kind of this waiting period, and about just having patience during this time, you guys, and how there's all of us that are out here that are willing to be support systems for you even during these hard times. So thank you so much for coming out, everyone. You guys have an amazing day. Have a happy Monday. Please be sure to like and follow me, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys have an amazing one. Bye bye.